The word cage-free on your egg carton legally means the hen never once stepped outside. Not once. She lived her entire life in a barn. No sunlight, no grass, no ground to scratch, and the carton you're holding still has a photograph of a sun-drenched meadow on it. That is not an accident. That is a deliberate, calculated strategy built on the fact that most people never flip the carton over. Americans spend over $12 billion a year on eggs. A growing portion of that spend goes specifically to labels like cage-free, free-range, and farm-fresh. Words that feel like upgrades but are in most cases legally meaningless. You are paying a premium for better marketing, not a better Hens life. And the corporations behind these brands are counting on you to keep doing exactly that. Today, we are auditing 10 egg brands, 4 you need to stop buying, and 6 that are actually doing what the carton claims. I spent weeks going through USDA definitions, third-party certification standards, and lawsuit records to find the truth. And the results were not what I expected. Here is the number that breaks the whole industry open. A genuinely pasture-raised hen is guaranteed 108 square feet of outdoor space. That is roughly the size of a small bedroom. A free-range hen, under USDA guidelines, is guaranteed access to the outdoors. But there is no federal minimum on how much space that means. Legally, 2 square feet qualifies. That is the size of a doormat, 1 hen, 1 doormat. That is what free-range can legally mean in this country. Cage-free is even more stripped down. It means no cage. The hen lives uncaged inside a barn. That barn can legally house 1 bird per square foot with no windows, no outdoor requirement, and no third-party oversight. The USDA does not audit these claims. They do not send inspectors to the farms. The label is self-reported by the very company profiting from it. And the illustration of rolling hills on the front of the carton is graphic design, not documentary photography. Here is the math reality that should make you angry. To produce a genuinely pasture-raised egg, a farm needs land, rotational grazing infrastructure, and a lower hen-to-acre ratio that limits how many eggs they can produce. That costs real money. To slap free-range on a carton from an industrial barn and charge the same premium, that costs the price of a label redesign. The industry made a rational financial decision, and they made it at your expense. The only language on an egg carton that carries legal weight is a third-party certification seal. Specifically Certified Humane, Animal Welfare Approved, or American Humane Certified. Those organizations audit farms independently and publish their standards publicly. Every other claim is a marketing decision, and the industry knows most consumers will never flip the carton over to find out. The skip list. Brand 1. Eggland's Best. Eggland's Best is the best-selling branded egg in America. Walk down any grocery aisle in the country and you will see that red and white EB seal positioned like a mark of distinction. A signal that these eggs are nutritionally superior to everything else on the shelf. The carton promises better taste, longer freshness, and vitamins you won't find in ordinary eggs. Now flip it over. That seal is owned and issued by Eggland's Best itself. It is a proprietary quality mark, not a third-party certification. No independent auditor verified it. The company designed it, the company awards it, and the company profits from the consumer trust it generates. The brand sources from a mix of conventional cage and cage-free facilities. There is no pasture access. There is no independent welfare audit. The nutrition claim is based on a specific proprietary hen feed formula that slightly elevates omega-3 fatty acids and certain vitamins compared to a standard industrial feed mix. That is a feed chemistry decision, not a farming philosophy. You are paying a premium for a self-issued stamp of approval, and the hen behind that egg likely never saw the sun. Brand 2. Land O'Lakes Eggs. Land O'Lakes has spent decades building one of the most trusted brand names in American food. The butter is in almost every kitchen. The dairy heritage is real. And when that name appears on an egg carton with cage-free printed clearly on the front, most consumers assume the same standard of quality applies. It does not. The cage-free label is technically accurate. The hens are not in cages. They are, however, in high-density industrial barns sourced from large-scale operations with no outdoor access requirement and no third-party welfare certification on the carton. The farm imagery is not connected to any specific farm you can name, visit, or verify. This is a commodity egg wearing a legacy dairy brand's logo, and the price premium is entirely borrowed credibility. The hens and the cows have nothing in common except the brand name above their heads. Brand 3, Nellie's Free Range. Nellie's has built its entire identity around the image of happy outdoor roaming hens. The branding is warm, the packaging is rustic, and the messaging is consistent. These are free-range eggs from hens that live good lives. In 2023, the brand settled a class action lawsuit that alleged its free-range claims were materially misleading, with farms documented at densities and barn conditions inconsistent with what the pastoral brand image projects to consumers in the grocery aisle. Nellie's does carry a certified humane certification, but at the cage-free barn level, not the pasture-raised standard. The gap between those two tiers is enormous. Cage-free certified humane means no cages and basic welfare standards inside a barn. Pasture-raised certified humane means 108 square feet outdoors per bird. Nellie's branding suggests the latter. The certification confirms the former. That gap is exactly where the consumer gets misled, and it is why a lawsuit was filed in the first place. Brand 4, Happy Egg Company. The name is doing extraordinary amounts of heavy lifting here. Happy Egg Company has one of the most emotionally resonant brand identities in the egg category. Bright colors, cheerful hens, a tone that says these eggs come from a place worth caring about. The free range label is front and center, and as we have now firmly established, free range under federal guidelines can legally mean 2 square feet of outdoor access per bird. The happiness suggested by the branding is not a USDA verified condition. Third-party audits and investigative reporting have flagged barn crowding on supplier farms that is inconsistent with the brand's consumer-facing messaging. Happy Egg does not carry a certified humane pasture-raised certification. What you are buying is a conventional barn egg, marketed with the emotional language of a small family farm. The hens behind that carton may not be as happy as the logo insists. Stop reading the front of egg cartons entirely. Treat the front panel as a billboard. It is paid advertising space, and it is designed to make you feel a certain way before you check a single verifiable fact. Walk to the back label and look for one of 3 seals: Certified Humane, Animal Welfare Approved, or American Humane Certified. If none of those seals are present, every claim on the front of that carton, cage-free, free-range, farm-fresh, all-natural, humanely raised, is legally unverified, voluntarily self-reported, and entirely unaudited. If you want a second layer of confirmation once you get home, crack the egg into a bowl and look at the yolk before you cook it. A deep, almost burnt orange yolk is the direct biological result of a hen with genuine outdoor access, eating a varied diet that includes insects, plants, and natural foraging. That pigmentation comes from carotenoids in the diet. You cannot fake it with standard industrial feed. A pale yellow yolk is the unmistakable signature of a barn-confined bird on a uniform grain mix. Your eyes can audit what the USDA does not, and it takes about 3 seconds. The real list, Brand 1, Vital Farms. Vital Farms is the most recognizable pasture-raised brand in the country for a reason, and it earns that position. Every carton carries certified humane pasture-raised status, which guarantees 108 square feet of outdoor space per hen. Not 2 square feet, not a covered concrete porch, but actual rotational pasture. The brand publicly names every farm partner on its website. You can look them up, read about them, and verify they exist. Yolks are consistently deep orange across the product line. The price is higher than most options on this list, but you are paying for an independently verified, publicly auditable standard, not a carton illustration. Brand 2, Pete and Jerry's Organic. Pete and Jerry's sits at a more accessible price point than Vital Farms while combining USDA organic certification with certified humane, cage-free standards and a genuine small family farm sourcing model. The brand started in New Hampshire in 1946 as a single-family operation and built its current cooperative structure specifically to keep small farms economically viable against the industrial consolidation that wiped out most of their competitors. It is not pasture-raised, and that distinction mattered, but it is one of the most credible and transparent cage-free operations in the American market, and the origin story is real, not manufactured. Brand 3, Alexander Family Farm. Alexander is the premium tier, and it justifies every cent of that premium. The farm holds both animal welfare approved and regenerative organic certified status simultaneously, 2 of the most demanding and independently scrutinized certifications in American agriculture. Hens have genuine rotational pasture access across a farming model that is specifically designed to improve soil health over time, not just extract from it. If you want the highest welfare and nutritional standard available in a carton you can find at a grocery store, this is the answer. No other brand on this list carries both of those certifications at once, and that combination is not easy to achieve. Brand 4, Handsome Brook Farm. Handsome Brook Farm is certified humane pasture raised, partners with a network of small family farms across the Northeast and Midwest. and is notably transparent about its outdoor access model in a category where transparency is rare. The brand uses rotational pasture systems, meaning hens are moved between different plots of land on a regular schedule to ensure they have access to genuine living grass and insects rather than a single worn down patch of dirt that technically qualifies as outdoor access but looks nothing like the carton. A strong mid-market option for consumers who want a verified pasture-raised standard without paying the Alexandria ceiling price. Brand 5, Kirkland, Signature Organic, Costco. This is the value play, and it is the most important one on this list for the majority of households. Kirkland Signature Organic eggs are USDA organic and cage-free. They are not pasture-raised. That distinction is real and worth acknowledging clearly, but they are the most affordable, meaningful step up from conventional eggs available at scale anywhere in the American market. And for a family of 4 managing a grocery budget, this is the honest, practical recommendation. You are getting a verified organic feed standard and cage-free barn housing. That is not the top of this category, but it is a genuinely better product than the conventional alternative. And the price makes the switch realistic for most people. Brand 6, Stieber's Farms. Stieber's is the brand most people have never heard of, and that is precisely why it closes this list. Based in Yelm, Washington, Stieber's Farms has operated since 1952 and carries certified humane pasture-raised status with pricing that undercuts most national pasture-raised competitors by a meaningful margin. This is not a brand that built a marketing department before it built a farming standard. It built the farming standard first, and the product reflects that order of priorities. Regional availability is concentrated in the Pacific Northwest, but if you see this carton on a shelf near you, it is one of the best value verified pasture-raised eggs in the country. Smaller name, serious standard, and a price that proves you do not always have to pay the premium brand tax to get the real thing. The egg industry spent decades building a vocabulary designed to make you feel good about a purchase without giving you anything verifiable to stand on. Cage-free, free-range, farm-fresh, all-natural. These are not standards, they are moods, those carefully engineered moods that cost the brand a label redesign and cost you a premium you did not need to pay. 3 seals. That is the entire framework you need. Certified Humane, Animal Welfare Approved, American Humane Certified. If one of those is on the back of the carton, the claim on the front has been independently verified. If none of them are there, the front is fiction. The hens cannot tell you the truth about where they live. We can. Subscribe because there are a lot more cartons in that grocery aisle that deserve the same audit. We are just getting started.